Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hunter Base Podcast. What do Maverick Hunters do when they're not hunting Mavericks? They go back to the base, recharge, and shoot the shit. I can talk. I'm the host of the Zeromaster, and we are on episode, I believe, 39 of the Hunter Base Podcast. And with me today, I have a very good friend of mine from way back in the day. We've known each other for, it's got to be like over 10 years now. It has to be that long. It's my pal, Tony ZX15.
Oh.
What?
I have arrived.
Do you have to give it such an ominous, oh, yeah, I'm here.
It's called a first impressions, dude.
So in case my listeners don't know who you are, Tony, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Tony ZX15. I kind of get around. I do a bunch of different things. I mainly stay in the background with a lot of the stuff I've ever done for people and with people. But if we're talking modern day, I generally do modding for Jordan Fringe. I also do modding in the Discord for the real Breaking Nate, who does Pokemon card pack openings. And Jordan Fringe does anything from Animal Crossing to Spyro to Pokemon to just really whatever he feels like. I also mod his streams as well whenever he streams. And no, it's actually been great doing that. And Zero's invited me onto his lovely podcast.
Yeah,
and to his very weird base. I'm scared.
No, you'll be fine. It's just don't give any of the maintenance bots a weird look. They just might report you.
They're humming.
But anyways, yes. Speaking of which, Tony is also now a mod in my Discord server, so if you break the rules, he's going to bring the banhammer down. He's not afraid to lay down the law.
I'm not, and some people know me in here as the police already, and it is a problem, but also I do get around. I don't know, I mod for a lot of people nowadays, and it's just like, I'm starting to like build up a resume.
Well, I mean, Doom gave you that nickname because when he started calling you, like, oh yeah, I guess Tony should be a.
I guess he called me the police because, like whenever like I'm playing games with somebody, and like I know what I'm doing, I kind of get a little bit commanding and be like, no, shut up, you're not playing it right. No, here, hand me the controller.
You're also really good at like explaining a lot of things, like. Just for example, I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing New Horizons, and it's Tony's fault I got that game because he bullied me into it, by the way. But I haven't played Animal Crossing, if you don't count Amiibo Festival, which I totally did a video on, which I'll shill later on in the podcast, so you should totally watch. If you don't count that one, I haven't played Animal Crossing since the GameCube one. So my familiarity with the franchise is, that's a game some people I know play. So... And now I'm totally addicted thanks to Tony and his multi-million-dollar, million-bell empire.
Hey, dude, you leave my bell farm out of this.
Literally, when I started the game, you were like, here, take this, take this, take this. I'm like, okay, let me figure some stuff out.
I mean, it's what I do. It's like my whole like deal and stick is like helping people. It's kind of like what I live for. Exactly. Like earlier, I was watching Ark's stream of Animal Crossing, and I was like, oh hey, do you want this, and she's like, I don't, wait, why? I mean, you don't have to go through that. And I'm like, no, shut up, just let it happen.
Shoutouts to Arcada QT. If you listen to this podcast, go look her up on Twitch and tell her she's cute. She loves that. And by love, I mean she hates it. So, anyways, before we get into the topics for this podcast, there's a couple of cleanup things I want to talk about. Obviously, I'm not worried about getting demonetized, so I'll say it, like, the coronavirus is a thing. Everybody's indoors right now, except for those who are part of essential services. I don't know about you guys, but whoever's listening, but I'm in Canada, and certain places are in pretty much lockdown right now, kind of like where I live is. So for the next few weeks, we won't be able to do anything. We won't be able to do much except for, use essential services like food, pharmacy, that kind of stuff. And because of that, some people who do work essential services still have to work right now. So, this, for example, my usual co-host, Canadian Jutsu, who already hasn't been on the podcast much this year because of how busy things have been in his job. He works in the medical field, so he has to work now even harder than he already did. So he already had to work a 12-hour a day job or something like that, and now he has to work even harder. So you probably won't be hearing from him for a while. When he does come back, it'll probably when we do the My Hero Academia recaps, but I'm just saying this right now, don't expect it for a while, because he's out there saving lives. So CJ, if you're listening, do the best job you can, and don't get sick. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't know CJ was a medical ninja now.
I mean, basically, yes. Just in case, he's prepared. He's played enough Resident Evil 4. And what I mean is he's Let's played Resident Evil 4 enough times that he is prepared for a zombie apocalypse, so he's fine. He'll be okay.
Okay, but how good is he at Trauma Center?
I don't know. But I mean, with this C virus, it's not the T or the G virus, but it's the C virus. If zombies start showing up, he'll be good. He has the proper training thanks to Leon S. Kennedy. Which yeah, so that's kind of what's going on. That's why you guys probably won't hear him for a while. But if you wanna give him a shout, he is on Twitter. He posts there sometimes, usually retweets Final Fantasy 11 art or 14 art, I should say. So yeah, hit him up on there if you want to say, hey, good luck out there, be careful, whatever. Yeah, so that's really the quick update I wanted to do before we get into things, because there's quite a smorgasbord of stuff to talk about. And I think I want to start off with probably the lower tier thing in terms of where people's interest. So I wanted to start off by talking about the Road to PS5 live stream that happened a little while ago. So, man, I remember
packing this one early.
The first thing I want to say is when I saw this live stream, all I saw in the chat were a bunch of Z's and borings and stuff. And my first thought was, this is not a reveal of the PS5. This is a technical,
I'm going to be honest. Thing. I fell asleep. Halfway through that press conference. I'm like, yeah, hard drive. And gone.
And this is something I said, like, if you're not technical, you probably won't understand. But for those of us who are technical, this is important jizz, so we need to pay attention.
Oh no, I'm not as technical as you, but I'm technical and I'm able to wrap my head around a lot of things, and it was still boring. It was still.
What I'll say. Sorry, go ahead.
Because it was just like them, just repeating the same fact over and over again. Hey, we're using better SSDs, which means better load times, which means, yeah, we're using a different CPU architecture this time, which means our sound chip's better, and you can actually hear.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, like, they went into hyper detail because there are people who need to know this information, so that's kind of why it kind of felt like, that hour or hour and a half, how long it was, felt a lot longer because they were talking about details. Of course, I'm in IT, so I listen to these things all the time. I watch the new Apple stuff every time it comes out. I watch the new stuff from like big computer manufacturers, so I'm used to listening to the technical specs. So for me, it wasn't as boring, but for maybe someone who expected something like a Nintendo Direct kind of thing, I could see why they would find it boring. But
what this stream that PlayStation did recently, what that was really for, like that was obviously a CDC backroom presentation for devs. Like, that's what that was. Yeah, it wasn't meant for your consumer. It was meant for developers who they would probably try to recruit during CDC, and that was like their big CDC sales pitch to be like, "Hey, come on, Team Sony."
Yeah, this is something you would see at GDC or the not necessarily E3, but for like what's the other big expo I'm trying to think of? The not E3. There's another one.
Tokyo Game Show?
No, not Tokyo Game. There's a Consumer Electronics, CES. That's what I'm thinking of. The Consumer Electronics Show. This is what kind of stuff you'd see there. So what I'm going to do is, CES, for anybody who didn't watch it, I've made some notes of some technical stuff that's important, and I'll try to explain it in as layman terms as I can, and then we'll discuss what it means. So the biggest thing they talked about is the PS5 is going to have an SSD. Now, The thing to note is the SSD they're putting in it is not one SSD you can go down to Best Buy and buy. This is a custom-made SSD made for the PS5. Now, what I mean by that is, first things first, the biggest thing it's going to fix is less loading times on games and the copying issue that's on the PS4. If you don't know what I mean, anytime you download an update for a game, after it downloads and installs, it has to copy. And by copy, what it's saying is we need to put all these things on your hard drive and into a way that we'll be able to read them later. Your hard drive, it's like a hard drive on a computer does a similar thing. They call it, it's what defragging does. This is sort of how the PlayStation gets away from doing defragging, essentially. But because of how big these games are, sometimes the process can take hours, depending on how big files it is. Like, I remember, anytime I download an Overwatch update on my PS4, it's like tens of gigs big. And then once it finally downloads it takes like a half an hour to an hour just to copy it. And I'm saying with quotation marks. So because hard drives are on a platter. They're a physical disk. A solid state drive isn't a disk. It's just flash memory. So the copying thing will go away. And that's also why loading times are going to get better, because games will be less reliant on trying to find something on the hard drive to load. It will now be like, okay, go to the SSD, go to the section sort of thing. So it's basically they're making a big memory card, essentially, for, if I could make it easy to say.
The SSD that they are using in the PlayStation 5, you can actually get these at Best Buy and like your local stores. It's just a different type.
No. There's a comparison. What I'm not talking about is like the actual thing itself. Like it says, I think they compared it to an M2 PCIe 4.0 SSD. Which yes, you can buy, but it
is an M2 actually.
Well, the architecture's on it's different. Like, see, like what
they're and the first one you get is just but I was like they because like M2s, like they're not like the same all the way through. Like there are like a couple different levels of like M2 SSDs, and the type of M2 that they're using is a certain type of like M2 SSD. And they said upon release they would have a list of what M2 SSDs would be compatible.
Yeah, because the thing to remember is that flash memory has been every year has been getting smaller and cheaper. So like I mean, 5 years ago, if you wanted a 500 gig SSD, you were looking at almost 50 cents per gig. Now you can go buy a 500 gig SSD for less than $100 if you look in the right place.
Unless you're going to M2, which is different, because like for those who don't understand, like an M2 SSD it basically doesn't hook up to your motherboard via a cable. It just straight slots into the PCIe slot on your motherboard.
It's a slotted drive. It's more like a RAM stick, essentially.
Yeah, so basically it becomes a part of your motherboard, and that's part of the reason why the load times and everything are going to be so much faster on PlayStation 5. Just simply because of the fact of it's not taking that downtime from transferring from cable and booting up the SSD and running that and sending that through a cable. Even though it's like milliseconds at a time, like when it comes to pulling and writing data, milliseconds can be an eternity. And shortening that as much as you can. Like, the only way I say that you could even get remotely faster is if these SSDs were basically soldered straight onto the board.
Essentially, yeah. The other thing, though, I do want to mention is one other thing that the new SSD will provide is better game compression. There's been a problem with the PS4, like I just mentioned a moment ago, where sometimes when you're downloading an update, you're almost re-downloading the whole fucking game because the PS4's compression, the way it's set up, is to essentially reinstall the game. Like Overwatch, best example. If you play Overwatch on PS4, you're basically re-downloading the whole game again. And then you have to wait through the whole the copying phase. This is going to prevent that, so that we don't have updates that are 60 plus gigs in size for one game. So this is very promising in terms of what it means for usability, because it means there'll be less time waiting for games to install and more time actually fucking playing them. So,
I believe we called those problems the Fallout 76 patch problem.
oh my god. When Red Dead Redemption 2 came out as one of the first games, or one of the first AAA games to have over 100 gigabytes of install data, that's when it got a little ridiculous, and that's when it's like, it made me start thinking, maybe I should upgrade the hard drive in my PS4 because games are just too big now.
I thought that Rockstar's last game, GTA 5 on PC, I thought 50 gigs for like a game, even on PC, was like, okay, what are you doing? Okay, games are too big. Compress it, please.
Mm-hmm.
But no, taking it raw, no protection.
Okay, then that's not how I was gonna go. But yeah, no, I get that. So one other thing I want to talk about is the main thing that everybody was wondering about is they didn't focus on it, but they mentioned it multiple times. Yes, it will be backwards compatible with PS4 and PS4 Pro. So, and because of that, there's still going to be, unfortunately, it's not going to make the games run any better than they do on PS4 Pro. Because in order to maintain the backwards compatibility, they can't make the games run faster because that would be bad for the games not being accurate. But I mean, if the game runs, if you're someone like me who has a regular PS4 and you want to get the benefits of the PS4 Pro, the PS5 is going to have those benefits for PS4 games, which is nice because I'd like to be able to choose between frame rate and graphical fidelity in Monster Hunter World. That'd be nice, but I'll do that, I guess, when I get it on PC.
Now, here is the thing that I think a lot of people have gotten confused of, myself especially, is I believe some people are confused if it's like, oh, only for PS4 digital or like only for PS4 physical games. Like, I'm pretty sure they've said it's for both, but like, have they done a full like clarification on it?
I mean, they never said, as far as I've seen, they've never said whether it was one or the other, but I'm going to assume, based on Sony's past of doing backwards compatibility, it's going to be both digital and physical stuff, because it would make no sense to leave physical games out of it unless they're not putting a disc drive in this PlayStation, which I don't think they're going to do.
I think that would be a death blow.
Well, the other thing too to remember is that like Xbox tried to sell a Xbox One Slim or an Xbox One S without a disc drive.
They tried to do that with the original Xbox One.
And while people like, some people like it, it's somebody like me, that's not the Xbox I'm going to get when I get one. Because I have games on disc, only because I have a family member who also owns an Xbox One. So no, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not doing
and you
that.
don't want another sharing games fiasco again in the games market.
Oh my god, don't even get me started on that bullshit.
Oh man, that E3 was a murder.
The only thing one of the things they didn't talk about, which I guess would have been interesting of why I could see them not putting a disc drive in it, is going the cartridge route that Nintendo does, but those cartridges are so friggin' expensive, I don't think they're going to do that.
I don't think they're going to be expensive forever. I actually think eventually costs will go down on those.
Yeah.
But, not anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, you've already seen, like, they're starting to roll out, like, the bigger Switch cartridges with, like, more memory. And, that's a good thing, because, like, that shows, like, hey, price is going down, and actually some companies are willing to take that hit because they know the game's going to sell. So, like, they'll shell out a little bit more, the $4 extra it costs to use that bigger cartridge.
The other thing, too, is that people are quick to point out the Switch tax, the quote-unquote Switch tax, but the Switch tax is not a cartridge problem. It's that the Switch tax is, Nintendo says you can't sell a game cheaper digitally than it is physically. So if you're going to have both, they both have to be the same price. So that's why people said the Switch tax was a thing, but it's not because of cartridges, it's because of literally them not allowing a price difference. So it is what it is.
Well, Nintendo really doesn't like the idea of, like, price gouging and, like, competition that way. Like, Nintendo
except for their own games. Their own games almost never go on sale.
Fine with it if it's their own game. And sales on like, Nintendo's, like, eShop are very lenient. Like, you can launch a sale for whatever reason. Just be like, you know what? It's a Tuesday. Let's have a Capcom sale.
Yeah. exactly. But yeah, that's basically where we're at with that. So, but a few more things I want to get to the PlayStation thing before we move on. Just really quick bullet points.
Something I want to talk about.
Okay, go ahead.
Is PlayStation? Because like the whole like Corona thing, like a lot of people are like, oh man, is like like the PS5 like going to be pushed back to like next year or whatever? Like what's happening? Well,
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. A Sony spokeswoman spoke out, I think like yesterday, that the Corona thing wouldn't have any notable impact on Sony's PlayStation 5 plans this year. So, while, their reveal, may have gotten pushed back a little bit, because I believe it was originally going to be appearing next month in April. So that might get pushed back. I mean, they still might show it off in April. But other than that, I think we're still on track for holiday 2020.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to change. I think, especially now, like China's getting out of their quarantine. So while we can't get parts and stuff yet from them because of our quarantines that are going on, like I can assume that Sony's already started figuring out the manufacturing for these. Like I don't think that there's much more. There's not much more work being done on the back end for the PS5. I mean, they wouldn't have had this road to PS5 thing if it was.
I'm just going to say, get your pre-orders in while you can, as soon as you see them go up, because if like this whole COVID thing is still going on, you're going to want your pre-order and get it right away. But hopefully, like, COVID will be a half-cracked nightmare in memory.
Just a couple other things. They talked about better power consumption with the PS5.
Yes.
The PS4 was never like a super like powerful beast, but I did notice on some games the fans go a lot more than others. So they're hoping to have it be cooled at a lower power consumption. So
I hope
which would be nice. Because some games, like I have a first model PS4, and even I've noticed like some games, like I can tell it's hoofing it to play it. But I mean, it's also an early model PS4. I have the Darth Vader one, so just to
my launch day PS4 battery blew up. Like I want to say it was like about a week or two after I started using it, and it was like a launch day PS4, and about a week after I started using it. Thunderstorm happened, and boop, nope. And mind you, everything was plugged in properly, power surge protect, everything. And it just was like, we'll start up, but we won't finish the boot. So the whole power supply in it got fried from its own stuff. And apparently I read like that was happening to a lot of people. Thankfully, PlayStation hooked me up pretty quickly. With like a new one within about a week.
That's pretty good.
And I've had the PlayStation 4. I've got back from them ever since.
Yeah. I remember like CJ has a Pro, and he got it mostly because he thought his original PlayStation was getting a little slow. And they do when the hard drive gets close to being full on them, they slow down a little bit. I've noticed, but that's a drive problem, which we've discussed already, not necessarily a system problem. But he also wanted an excuse to get the Pro. So, but yeah,
I've tried to justify the Pro, but I can't.
Especially now that the PS5's coming, I'm just going to wait.
The moment I moved Monster Hunter to PC, it was gone. The need for a Pro was gone.
No, I hear you. I eventually will start playing Monster Hunter on PC, but I'm also not going to abandon my PS4 copy because I have a lot of shit in it. But let's see. The other thing I want to talk about is one thing they talked about is it's going to support 3D audio. For those who don't know what 3D audio is, it's almost the easiest way I can explain it is it's almost like surround sound, but in real time. So, and especially if you interesting with headphones on. That's where my main experience with 3D audio is. If you've played VR, you may have heard 3D audio because a lot of VR stuff uses 3D audio to be more immersive. The PS5 will support that, and it says they're going to support 5 HRTFSs when it comes out and launch. And basically what that means is it's going to support 5 different modes of 3D audio, because everybody's ear is different. So how you perceive the 3D audio is going to be different. So they're going to have 5 at launch, and they're doing testing for multiple ones as time goes on, so that they can support people who have, special hearing needs. They can support people who have like hearing aids, stuff like that. They want to make it so it's usable, and they've been doing testing to where they're literally doing 360-degree audio tests by they showed literally a guy with microphones in his ears and speakers surrounded all around him to test to see how it works. So it's not a big deal, but it is something that, like, if you're playing VR, or if you're an audiophile, or you're trying to get more immersive in your gaming experience, it does make a difference. And you use VR, Tony, so you know
I use VR a lot. And also, like, didn't, like, Monster Hunter was also one of, like, the few PS4 games that had 3D audio?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't use it because my TVs don't support it, but I have seen...
I mean, it does support it as long as you have headphones plugged in.
Yeah, I don't play it with headphones, so that's why I haven't used it.
I played Monster Hunter on my PS4 exclusively with headphones and with 3D audio on, and I will tell you, Monster Hunter with 3D audio, or games in general that have 3D audio, are amazing, and I'm glad to see that this will be a more widespread thing.
And that's the thing, like 3D audio is something, it feels like it's had a bad rep in the last few years, but with things like VR, you almost have to have it because it's part of the immersion.
It's kind of standard.
Yeah. Like, just for example, that game that came out, Half-Life Alyx, is probably a lot less immersive if you don't use 3D audio. But I also understand there are people out there who just don't like it, and it messes with them, and it adds to their nausea when they're doing stuff like VR. So as long as Sony gives the option to turn it off, and also a problem that's been with the last few Sony consoles, and I only figured out midway through doing a recording session of Persona 5 with my buddy, is the ability to switch the audio channels on the PS4 for capturing, because a lot of capture cards don't capture surround sound or other audio. And my capture card, I remember watching cutscenes in Persona 5 with my buddy when we were capturing it, going, they should be talking. There should be words coming out of their mouth. Nope, just background noise. Because of the way
weird.
It was set up.
As someone who has an Elgato, like, I've never experienced that problem.
The Elgato supports it. The capture card that I use, the Hopog HD PVR Rocket, does not. So I had to change my audio to stereo to make it work.
Upgrade.
I am. I can't go pick it up right now. They have it. They just can't. I can't buy it. So give me a bit. But yeah.
Upgrade. So Persona 5 Royal comes out in 3 days.
I got the greatest hits version of Persona 5. I'm fine.
And now I've dated this podcast, by the way.
Hey, it always happens. The last podcast was recorded weeks before it came out. So, but anyways, that's all the Sony stuff I want to talk about. We'll probably talk more about it than we needed to, but basically, to sum it up, PS5 specs for nerds.
They're huge. Big number is big.
So, did you watch the Nintendo Indie World Direct? Should we talk about that, or should we just skip that one?
I did not watch much of the Indie World Direct, or if any. Typically because, like, I'm not too big into indie games. Like, if an indie game is really good and worth checking out, like, it will reach my ears.
Okay, there's only a couple of games I care about on this list, so I'll quickly go through the ones that I care about.
Okay, this is your floor.
So, the ones that I care about is Skyrocket, which is a 2D shooter that's coming out. I think it's out now, is available on it. Hello Games is a new game called The Last Campfire that's coming out for the Switch.
Ooh, I have
don't know who Hello Games is. They made No Man's Sky. So this is their next project after that.
I'm so glad that they survived.
So, a couple of other things. There's a game called I Am Dead. It's a ghost adventure puzzle game, which looks kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And The Good Life is a murder mystery game, which looks kind of neat. There's Quantum League. It's a hero shooter with powers that are kind of like... You ever played the GoldenEye for GameCube, where they had the special powers.
No, I believe I only played GoldenEye on the N64, and everyone hated me.
Essentially, that the GoldenEye, I think it's GoldenEye Rogue Agent. That's for GameCube. In any ways, it's basically they added superpowers to it, so that's what this game is apparently like.
Is there an odd job?
And I don't know. I can't remember now. I have to fire it up again. I haven't played it in such a long time. But they also did. They ended the thing. As Nintendo does with one of the biggest announcements, is they announced Exit the Gungeon, which is the sequel to Enter the Gungeon. Now, I don't really care about this game, but I know a few people, such as my friend Nightman39, loves that game. So
I haven't played it, but I've heard such great things from it that I think I might pick it up at some point. After I've gotten everything I wanted to get out of my Switch, I'll probably get both those.
Nintendo revealed it, but it's also on PC, so it is coming out for PC as well.
Yeah, but
I think
I really think games like that are like much more of a better fit on Switch than like PC, though.
What I was going to say is because of this got announced, Enter the Gungeon on all platforms is on sale. So if you haven't played it, it's available now on sale. But anyways, let's talk about the real Nintendo Direct, the chocolate drop that happened.
This means I get to gush about some stuff for a minute.
Yeah. So we're going to go in order of release. So first thing, they showed more of Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered.
Yes. Yes.
Which is coming out, and we now have a date. It's coming out May 29th.
Oh,
and they're adding a new chapter called Future Connected.
But also, let's go back and talk a little bit more, because this mini direct, it dropped out of nowhere. There was no pomp and circumstance or any oh hey, come and check out our Nintendo Direct at blank.
I felt like this was meant for April, but they decided we should just drop this now. I don't think that this was.
I think this might have been meant for April, but I think this was more of a. We had a whole direct planned, but because of COVID, and they even said it they didn't say, but they had this little notice at the very, very beginning of it, which was due to COVID that release dates and other information are subject to change. So release dates and stuff are subject to be pushed back. So just know that whatever date you hear, they're not married to it, but just assume for the moment that these are the dates.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered.
Oh man, I am so hyped for this. This is, as somebody who got into Xenoblade while watching, I think it was Chugga's playthrough of it. I got super into the game. I played mainly the 3DS one. I didn't really play the Wii one, but
I own 5 copies of it on Wii.
Lucky.
Did you want a copy? I don't need all of them.
Oh man, then hell yeah, just give me one of those, and then you can definitely have that keyboard, 100%.
When I get that keyboard, I'll know what your address is, so I'll just send you one.
Okay, cool.
But
no, I am so excited for Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Back when they announced this, and I want to say, I think it was sometime around September or something like that was when they announced this. Or it was either September or E3 of last year. So basically, just sometime near the end of last year, they announced this. And I was so hyped when they announced it because, if any game needed a facelift, it was Xenoblade. Xenoblade needed the biggest facelift because, the graphics and art style are night and day. Just complete night and day from the original. And now with this, this new trailer from the Direct Mini, we get to see so much more, so many more, character designs. We also get to see, the UI and the revamped hub. And just someone who's played this, it does not look like the same UI at all. It is a much cleaner, easier to read, smoother UI that I'm really happy for. And in addition to that, like the big thing about the definitive edition that they revealed was Future Connected, which is a brand new epilogue that apparently, as soon as you boot up the game, whenever it comes out, probably at the end of May, hoping, as soon as you boot up the game, you can go straight into Future Connected. They will respect, hey, this is a 10-year-old game, just about, if you want to go play the new stuff, feel free.
Okay. And it seemed like they were saying that this connects the story threads together, because we have this, there's Xenoblade Chronicles X, and there's obviously Xenoblade Chronicles 2 now. So, and people kind of know the lore from backstory and stuff like that, but there wasn't like a real connection between the games other than lore, essentially.
There was a connection in Xenoblade 2, if you've played Xenoblade 2.
I've started all 3 Xenoblade games.
Well, let me just say, Xenoblade 2 at first feels like it's kind of its own beast. It is its own game that's kind of like loosely connected in a weird way. No, straight up, by like the time you get to the climax of Xenoblade 2, no, it is, hey, we're just a straight sequel. Don't worry about it.
Gotcha.
Okay. And I'll kind of get that on the download because I don't really want to spoil it, really, because like
I'll eventually beat
the surprise is so worth it. It is so worth, like, I believe it like happens like around like chapter 9 or so or something like that. Like there is a point in the game, like it shows you something and you're like, holy shit. And because that's what happened to me. And right then the game clicked and I was like, everything makes sense. The story makes sense. This is amazing. I love this. And Xenoblade 2, I played through Xenoblade 2 twice. I sadly haven't gotten around to playing the Torna prequel DLC yet. I've gotten like started on it.
Well, you're doing better than I did because I've started Xenoblade and Xenoblade X, but that's about
Finish it. Finish Xenoblade 2. I will pay you to finish Xenoblade 2. It's so worth
Maybe I'll
it.
stream it or something. I don't know. But I don't even own Xenoblade 2. I own the first 2. That's all I own.
You don't own Xenoblade 2?
No, it's too expensive. I always buy other games instead because they're cheaper. But one of these days
I will.
No, you stop.
I might have to send a copy of Xenoblade along with that keyboard.
Let's move on from here.
Well, actually, there's one last thing. They also announced that the game comes in a fancy collector's edition. Which is what I like. Is these collector's editions. Like I bought the collector's edition for Xenoblade 2, and it was great. Now there is one difference in this one between I believe the Japanese, the European, and the US one. Is we get everything but the soundtrack, and apparently the soundtrack comes on vinyl for the UK, and I'm kind of jealous that they get a soundtrack vinyl. I mean, I don't listen to vinyl, but so like they get an option to listen to the soundtrack and we don't. Like,
well, I'm sure they'll do something for it. Like Xenoblade X came with that stupid USB for the soundtrack.
Dude, I'm kind of glad I didn't get that collector's edition.
I have that one.
But I can't remember, but I believe Xenoblade 2 came with steelbook, art book, and I think it came with the soundtrack. I'm not sure. Do not quote me. I'm not going to go run over and go grab my collector's edition.
What I'll say is this does come... They did say this is coming with a 250-page art book.
Which I'm super excited for because I'm a sucker for art book.
That's a lot of pages for an art book. That's really cool.
And it's a premium hardcover too.
Exactly, yeah.
But no, like I'm really super excited for it.
Let's move on, though, because some 2K stuff got announced. Bioshock the Collections, XCOM 2 Collection, and Borderlands Legendary Collection, that includes Borderlands 1, 2, and pre-sequel, plus all the add-ons. They're coming to Switch May 29th. Again, grain of salt for the the release date because of COVID-19. But
so all
I
the
was
good
just
2K games.
yeah, like Bioshock, like the Bioshock one, I'm kind of interested in because I never finished one. I didn't really like it. 2, I heard wasn't that good, but I love Infinite. Infinite's such a good game. So having that on the go, that's kind of enticing. But again, it's one of those things where like I'm not sure if I'm ready to double dip on that. XCOM 2, I own on like 3 different things, and I barely played it, so I don't need another copy of XCOM 2. And then Borderlands, I have 1 and 2. I haven't finished them. And pre-sequels around here somewhere. But this is good if you haven't played Borderlands 3 yet, which I also haven't. So I think it's cool that they're coming to the Switch. The only thing that's disappointing is it's again previous gen games coming out.
You know
now.
what's really bad?
What?
I haven't played really much of any of these games.
I don't blame you because like XCOM 2 is a good game.
I played a bit of
but it's a
XCOM
long
2
game.
with like a friend of mine because like I like shared a library with like a different friend and me and a friend played.
Mhm.
I have Borderlands 2 on like on Steam because a friend said, "Hey, let's get Borderlands 2. Like we'll play through it," and that never happened.
Mm.
But it was like $2, so it was no skin off my nose. And I've never played a Bioshock game.
Well, what I'll say is, like, out of these, I've played a lot of Bioshock Infinite, which I really liked, and I played Borderlands 1 back on the 360 with, like, Kirby and John and some of our other friends. So it's been a while since I played Borderlands 1, but I do own it for PC as well. So it's like, I mean, for those games, it's like, I already have, like, for stuff like Borderlands, I want to play the multiplayer, and I know people have it on other platforms, so I probably won't get the Switch release unless I absolutely want to have a definitive collection if it comes out physically where all the games are available on the cartridge, which they probably won't be, but
if they did it for Bayonetta, they're gonna do it to everyone else.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyways, it's great that some of these games are getting ported to the Switch. Just feels like this should have been done a while ago. That's the only thing that I feel with it. But moving right along, the next thing they talked about was the expansion pass, the Black Order for
Dr. Doom
versus the Fantastic Four. So,
man, the lamest superheroes in all of Marvel.
Hey, come on. What I will say is, what was great is this trailer showed Mr. Fantastic with a beard.
I mean, Mr. Fantastic does have a really cool beard.
I mean, I'm used to seeing him clean shaven.
Look, man. As long as he keeps the beard, he's got extra cool points that might be able to make him passable. But I don't think he'll ever be Avengers level.
He did beat
cool.
Magneto with a wooden gun. so there you go. Yeah, so if you like
Fantastic Four.
This is pretty cool DLC. The Fantastic Four is kind of the punching bag of the comic book community now, because every piece of media they've had has been kind of trash outside of being the comics.
I still can't believe that Nintendo brought back Ultimate Alliance.
It's kind of surreal, isn't it? That they were the ones to.
This was like a game that I constantly heard like on like the playground as like a kid, like like hearing like everyone talk about, oh man, have you played Ultimate Alliance? I'm like, no. Because
they're kind of slow games, so just a heads up.
Yeah. But now it's
if you like that co-op beat 'em up action, they're not bad. They also showed off a new side-scrolling exploration game called Shinsekai
Into the Depths.
They announced it was available then. I haven't looked at it yet, but I kind of want to try it because it looks really interesting.
It's kind of like Metroidvania looking.
Kind of. But I think they said it was more of like an adventure style game, which is kind of an adventure exploration's kind of Metroidvania, but they're also kind of like not as like
either
dense,
way.
So
this still looks fun and enjoyable. And honestly, if I hear good things from it and it goes on sale, I might pick it up. Although I also have an irrational fear of like the ocean at times, so I don't know.
We'll see what happens. Now, the big one.
Oh boy.
A free update was released for Animal Crossing New Horizons that fixed everybody's favorite glitch. the dupe glitch. So no more duping.
Farewell.
No more spin to win.
You were too young.
But what actually they announced is the Easter event coming April 1st to the 12th, where a rabbit villager visits
Zipper D Bunny.
You might as well take it. Take the reins because I don't know any of this.
So typically, what happened is in like holiday events, at least in North America, because I've only ever played the North American copy, so I'm not familiar with other parts of the world. But basically, how it works is every holiday, like big holiday, there will be like a special villager that will come into town. And, like, there'll be, like, a special event where you can get exclusive furniture and items and everything. Now, the thing is that's different about this is this would only go on for one day. So you had one day to do it. Like, I remember on New Leaf, there were people who would cancel, like, real-life events with friends and family to be like, no, Zippity Bunny's in town, man. I gotta play Animal Crossing and, like, get that cool egg furniture. I really don't know anybody who actually liked the egg furniture, but still, like, these were like events that people like canceled things for to attend.
How excellent.
So the big difference here is that this is going on from April 1st to I think April 12th. Yeah. So Bunny Day is now like Bunny Week. Or Bunny 2 weeks.
Which is nice because some of us can't play or would or have scheduled stream days that they would like to stream it. So, yeah, it's nice, and we'll get multiple chances to do it because not everybody has time on a single day to do everything, right? So,
also, they're adding a brand new holiday in April, Earth Day, because I don't remember Earth Day being a holiday in Animal Crossing.
They said they're going to give details in April about it, but it's coming late April.
Yeah, no, and the funny thing is, the sloth that is shown, I forget the sloth's name, but that was like the sloth that would like come in after like your town has been overrun with weeds and be like, oh man, look at all these weeds. Really wish someone would come and help me pick it up. And also like she ran like the gardening shop and everything like that, and I don't think the gardening shop is in the game anymore because I don't think there's really any need for it. But it is cool to see a returning NPC, and I'm hoping Red comes back because so far Red isn't in the game. From what I've heard.
Oh, why? So we could sell us bootleg cards?
Yeah, but if you pick the right stuff, I mean, it's all good and it sells for a lot of bells. Just don't get tricked by that fox.
I want that guy who tells terrible jokes from Amiibo Festival to show up.
What was his name?
I don't know, but he's some pink guy and he does this dance whenever he tells a joke.
Pink guy and tells it. Does
he probably was in New Leaf?
Oh yeah, no, he probably. Oh, I know who you're talking about. It was like the guy who gave you emotions. I think his name started with an S or something. Doctor something.
Yeah, no, I know who you're talking
Dr.
about.
Shrunk. That's what it is. It's Dr. Shrunk. Yeah, no, I really don't think Dr. Shrunk is going to be in the game because Dr. Shrunk's role was he would be the one to show you how to emote in Animal Crossing, but now like your villagers will come up to you once in a while and be like, "Hey, man, watch this cool new emote."
Man can dream, damn it. But anyways, that's Animal Crossing. Moving right along, though, another game they showed off, Good Job, which is a job simulator mixed with something like Gang Beasts. So,
I saw this and was immediately interested.
It's essentially, from what we were told, is your dad owns a company. He's giving you a job, and you have to work your way from the bottom up. And
don't fuck up.
And you can break walls and shit. It's one of those physics-based games, so yeah, you can cost the company a lot of money as long as you get your job done. So that was announced. It's now out. Catherine Full Body is coming to Switch on my birthday, July 7th.
Oh, wow, really?
So,
and also, you slid straight into Catherine phrasing
get it?
really quickly.
So
this came as a surprise to me because
a surprise.
Because us Atlas fans have been crying for like a full Atlas game to come like to like the Switch, like like a port, because like we're still waiting on SMT 5, but which I haven't heard from since the Switch got announced. So it's been like 3-4 years. Poor SMT fans. But we've been crying for stuff like Catherine and Persona, and I believe the reason we are getting Catherine Full Body, not just because people whined and cried for it like me, but I think this is our chance to, if this game sells decently, we might see Persona titles slide into the Switch's lineup as well.
Well, I mean, Scramble is coming out on the Switch, right?
So. Well, yeah, like Persona third-party games typically always make it over anyway, but I mean, it's kind of like the big boy titles you want. Now, like, you and I both have a friend that hates Full Body and says it's terrible, but I don't care. I am super down to play Full Body. I mean, I just bought Catherine Classic on PC, but I am so down to double dip into Full Body.
I have the first one on 360, and I've been thinking about getting Full Body for a while, but I'm like, I'd rather get, and I said this, I'd rather get it on PC or Switch, and now kind of might wait and just get it on the Switch.
I'm going to get it on the Switch. Also, it's got a multiplayer mode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll have to then.
Yeah.
It comes out on my birthday, so.
All right.
Anyways, if anybody out there really loves me, they did a free update, talked about a free update for Ring Fit Adventures, which I wish I had bought before this quarantine.
Same.
Because I can't go to the gym. But what they added to the free update essentially is there's a new rhythm game mode, which actually looks really fun, which I want to try. And there's new voice for the ring person in multiple languages.
This sold me on Ring Fit. Like, mind you, I wanted Ring Fit, but I was like, it's $80 here. It's kind of expensive.
That's over 100 for me.
Oh man, it's really kind of expensive. And I mean, what am I going to do that's going to keep me coming back to this game other than the exercise? Rhythm games will always sell me.
It also has a RPG mode.
Well, yeah, no, like the RPG mode, like the main thing that was selling me on it. But I was like, I need something that's going to keep me coming back. And rhythm mode, 100%. I am there. I am down. Just add more music as DLC, and you'll keep me in your ecosystem for like a year.
Another surprising one is the sequel to King's Bounty 2. A grid-based tactical RPG is coming to the Switch. King's Bounty is kind of a weird series because, like,
Never heard of it.
It's not super well known, but it has a very big cult following. The fact that it's getting love on the Switch is good. It's supposed to be coming in 2020. They just said in 2020. They don't know what day. But yeah, King's Bounty 2. If you like tactical RPGs, definitely check it out. Fighter number 6 for Smash was revealed, kind of. It's an ARMS character.
Yeah, no, like they kind of like this announcement really just feels like they were like, hey, we know we haven't had a direct in a while. We know you guys are impatient. Everything's kind of being delayed. Hey, here's kind of what the next character is going to be. We have nothing to show, but hey, here's something to whet your appetites. Don't forget Fighters Pass 2 exists.
Yeah, so the first character for Fighter Pass 2 is going to be an ARMS character, which I'm assuming is going to be Springman and a bunch of other ones based on costumes. So, yeah, and also because of this, there's a free trial of ARMS on from March 26th to the 6th, and this isn't just like a demo. You can actually play through the whole game. If you
whole game?
Yeah, it's like the whole, like, it's the game is free for like a week. Plus, whatever they're doing this for. So definitely go
Might
check
as
that
well
out.
grab that while you can and experience it, because I played the game and it's fun, but I don't know if it's like fun to keep you forever. But still, like, I mean, if you like it and this is your kind of thing, I'd recommend it.
I've been wanting to pick it up, but I played it before. I just haven't gotten the chance to get it because it's always $90, and I'm just like, I don't know. This is a game I'd pay $40 for because I feel like I'd get a certain amount of time out of it, and then I'd get bored of it.
I guarantee you, it's probably more of a $40 title than it was what I paid.
So another big one that they showed off stuff for Bravely Default 2, where the main things they talked about were the story, the asterisk gems, which gives people their class, and the BP system, and that there's a demo out now. So if you like the first Bravely Default or the older Final Fantasy style games, this is definitely
just JRPGs in general.
JRPGs in general. It is a turn-based RPG, and I know some people don't like those.
I love those,
but I like them. So this will be one. And I didn't play Bravely Default, but my friends raved about it and Bravely Second. So Bravely Default 2 is one that I've been looking at.
Same. This kind of will give us like a full like experience of like, hey, what's Bravely all about? Is it good?
One that kind of surprised me, Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. I thought this was just going to be some weird shovelware thing, and it kind of is, but it's like, it's one of those game compilations, but you get 51
that looks
games.
Good.
Like, it actually looks good. I'm just like, damn, that's a lot for what you asked for. Because normally when you'd see those Wii shovelware things, like the party games and stuff like that, they'll have like 10 games, and they're all trashly programmed, but this one actually looks like it's very competent, and it's 51 different board style games, which is really neat.
Man, it's like the new 52.
It's not Action 52. So it comes out June 5th. So this is one that I'm definitely looking at.
It's got online play.
It does have online play. It'd be good for streams.
Surprised me.
Yeah. So that's why I kind of want to get it. And also,
I'm kind of looking into getting it so long as it's reasonably priced.
So just moving right along again, they showed off a game called Ninjala, which is a ninja battle royale game. It's free to play, and it's coming May 27th. I don't normally like battle royale, but this one actually looks kind of interesting.
It's got that Splatoon charm to it.
That's what I definitely got a Splatoon vibe from it when I was watching it.
Like if you had said, hey, this was made by the Splatoon team, I'd have believed it.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah, I'd have believed it too. I'll give it a try, but I'm just not a big Battle Royale guy, so we'll see how long I play it for.
What if this is the game that gets you into Battle Royale?
I mean, it could be. Who knows? I'm open to the idea. It's just Battle Royale Battle Royale and MOBAs are two genres that are really hard for me to get into. So, maybe this will be the game that'll get me into it. Who knows? But yeah, that comes out on the 27th of May, and it's free to play. So there you go. Some other throwback games, just to talk about real quick. Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy is available now on the Switch. They ported it, and they teased that Star Wars Racer is coming soon. Which is very
actually isn't. Yeah, no, it is out. But oh man, I like remember like the Pod Racer, like game. Like, didn't like JonTron like advertise like a Star Wars Racer game?
Well, he did that whole he did something for, I don't know, he did some Star Wars game, but he also did that show Starcade where he talked about every Star Wars game practically.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Episode 1 Racer is one that I grew up with, and I do have it on N64, but after seeing how well the Doom 64 port to Switch looked, I'm okay with getting more N64 upgrades to Switch.
I'm always fine with like ports and allowing older games to come in for a new generation,
especially because the N64, like the PS2, is notorious for having a really shitty video output. So I'm okay with getting games like Doom 64 and Episode 1 Racer again on Switch because those games look like garbage on the original system. So, but that's just me because I'm a videophile and I do video captures and stuff, so I have to have it look perfect. So Yeah, very excited for that.
Speaking of more throwbacks.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. And I pre-ordered the limited run version of this shortly after when I saw the release
Dragoon?
date. Panzer Dragoon Remake is coming out March 26th.
Oh man,
it's already out.
You must have flipped your lid back at E3.
I thought this was one of the ones when I was like, when they showed it off at that one Nintendo Direct, they kind of just talked about it a little bit. I'm like, what's Panzer Dragoon? It's like, because I own 2 copies of Panzer Dragoon by accident on Saturn because I thought I didn't have it and I bought it again. So I have one that's half complete and one that's fully complete. So, Panzer Dragoon Orta was free, or not free, but it was on sale on the Xbox store, and it is digitally available on upgraded on Xbox One. So like I said, a family member has Xbox One, so I can play it on there anytime I want. And Panzer Dragoon Orta is also a really good game. So I love Panzer Dragoon. It's a shame because a lot of the games in the series are friggin' expensive. Like Panzer Dragoon Saga, I'll never get that game unless I shill out the hundreds of dollars it costs for it, or they re-release it. So I'm hoping if Panzer Dragoon a remake does good on Switch,
I could see a Panzer Dragoon collection coming in the future.
I would not say no to that. If we can get Panzer Dragoon Saga on the Switch, I'll be very happy because it means I won't have to pay price gougers to get it. But yeah, so I pre-ordered the physical copy. I haven't played the remake yet just because I don't want to double dip on digital on this one yet. I want to wait for a sale since I've already paid for the physical version from limited run. So when it goes on sale, I'll probably pick it up and play it again. But also I'm just playing so much shit right now. Like Animal Crossing has my life. So
oh man, you don't even know about my backlog. Like since September I've had backlog.
No, I hear you, man. Like it's ridiculous.
A lot of my backlog is just RPGs, and like Persona 5 like comes out like on Tuesday, and that's coming to my house.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, that's 300 hours, and I'm juggling Animal Crossing.
It's fine.
At least
but
in quarantine.
Speaking of other RPG games that we don't have time for, Trials of Mana Remake is coming out April 24th, and
it's got a demo,
and a demo is available. I have not downloaded it yet, but I do want to play
it. I've downloaded it, but have not touched it.
Yeah, I also have the collection of Mana, so I have the original version that came out with that. So, I
need to get that.
All I know is I am anxiously awaiting the video from SCXCR when he finally gets to the Trials of Mana remake on his Seiken Densetsu retrospective, which
also,
you should watch.
This game never came out in the West. Like, this is its first time ever coming in the West.
Literally,
officially.
SCR, my buddy SCXCR, when he was doing a Seiken Densetsu retrospective, he had to redo a bunch of his Seiken Densetsu 3 video because Trials of Mana got announced. So he had to go back and change some stuff. So if you like long-form documentary style videos on video reviews, check out SCXCR's Seiken Densetsu retrospective. Because
the game looks fun, it looks interesting. I'm probably going to try the demo soon.
Yeah. Just a couple of other things. Fuser, a DJ game, was announced.
I thought rhythm games died.
Yeah, these are some rapid fire ones that they showed off. It's coming out fall 2020. Elder Scrolls Blades is coming spring 2020, which I'm actually excited for. I played it a bit on phone, but I'd love to play it on Switch instead. Warhammer 40k Mechanicus, I think it is.
Yeah.
It comes May 2020. Warhammer game. I don't know much about them, but I know they have big fans.
Vigor's getting a closed beta and then coming out, I think, sometime in April.
Yeah, that's the third-person battle royale? I don't actually know what that is. But the April's
Burnout motherfucking Paradise is coming. It's coming back. Burnout.
Sometime in 2020.
Bring back fun racing games. Come on. Just do it.
Bring back Need for Speed Underground 2. Saints Row 4 Re-Elected comes out. Oh, it's out.
It's like been out for like a day.
One that I know my friend Nightman 39 would be very happy about because he always talks about this damn series. Trails of Cold Steel 3 is coming out June 30th. And
also got a demo.
Demo's available. I was just about to say that.
Demo is available. I've also downloaded I've not touched it. It definitely gave me like an Atlas kind of like Tokyo Mirage Sessions kind of battle system vibe from what I saw, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I like the character designs. I like the look about. Yeah, no, I'm in. Just show me what you're about. I like robots.
Anything you want to know about the Trails series, just talk to Nightman39, who's also reviewed the first 2 games in the series, if you can check those out as well. Something that a lot of people don't know about me is I'm actually a big fan of Mr. Driller. And Mr. Driller Drill Land was announced, and it's coming out June 25th. I have Mr. Driller on PS1. I have the Wii game, Mr. Driller Double.
Did you have the DS game?
I don't have the DS game. I do need to get that at some point. Yeah. But I love Mr. Driller. It's a really fun puzzle game. That
I was really surprised to see that series come back. I was like, wow, people remember Mr. Driller?
I'm happy we're getting a new Mr. Driller game, and it's coming out not soon enough, June 25th. Minecraft Dungeons, their isometric dungeon crawler, comes out spring 2020.
The most interesting Minecraft property I've seen pretty outside much. Of regular Minecraft.
Pretty much. I mean, after Minecraft story mode, there's lots of expect.
It's okay. And Oswald's cool.
Yeah. So, the other big thing that we got to talk about. Oh, before we talk about that, there is one thing that appeared in the Japanese Direct. That would be the Namcot Collection, which showed off Wagonland, Yokai Duchki, and Family Jockey. It comes June 6th, Japan exclusive, but they showed off some games that are kind of odd to show off for a Namco collection. So I think instead of pushing Pac-Man and Galaga and all these things, now they're pushing more obscure titles, which I think is a good.
Well, yeah, because like Pac-Man, Galaga, and stuff like that were kind of more of like the global hits. So I think they're pushing more of like the hits that hit closer to home for like Japan fans.
Namco, please make this available in North America. That's all I'm saying. Like, I have a Japanese account. I'll buy it on the Japanese eShop if I have to. But please make this available in North America. I want to play these games.
Import more games. Bring them west side.
Exactly. Now, the big one. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to bring you on here, because I know how you feel about Pokemon. The Sword and Shield expansion pass, starting off with, they showed more of Isle of Armor. So...
and this is actually our first proper look at both Isle of Armor and a tiny sneak peek of the Crown Tundra in engine, in game, and this looks big.
Yeah,
this looks decently sized.
Yeah, the main thing they talk about is, of course, you get the new Pokemon Kubfu after becoming a master of the whatever Kung Fu, and then you have a choice between the Tower of Darkness or the Tower of Water.
It was Mustard. It basically is soon after you come off of the train and you arrive on the Isle of Armor. You will meet Mustard, who is the man who trained Leon, the previous league champion. And I guess he's, like, after your league victory, like, he's grown interested in you. So he entrusts you with a Kubfu, and he sends you into what is the new battle tower. And which has probably got its own little trials. And as soon as you reach the end, your Kubfu, depending, I believe, on which tower you end up fighting, which I think is separated by version, you will get either strike style or water style.
Yeah, there's the Tower of Darkness and the Tower of Water. So it's based on whichever one you evolve in. So if you do Tower of Water, he gets water dual typing. If you do Darkness, I believe he gets dark dual typing.
One would imagine.
The only thing I'm concerned with this is I don't want them to say you have to use Kubfu, because if I don't have a spot for him in my team, I'm not using him. If the game forces me to do it, I won't play it. So it's one of those things where Nintendo, please don't force people to do that.
I mean, like, the expansion's still going to be worth it outside of that.
I just don't want them to do that. Like, I don't want them to force it. They've done this before. It doesn't happen very often, but when they force you to pick a Pokemon in your party, I hate that. It's like, the whole point of Pokemon is let me choose from the 800 Pokemon to put in my party.
It also looks like they're allowing you to also wear a different outfit when riding the bike. Like, did you see the bike helmet and everything?
I did not notice that, no.
Oh yeah, no, like you like have like a whole like ATV helmet and everything, and like a whole new bike outfit, which doesn't look lame.
Now, the other thing to talk about is after you beat the Isle of Armor, you will get access to your starter's Gigantamax forms. Now, they have new G-Max moves. For example, there's Drum Solo, G-Max Drum Solo, G-Max Fireball, and G-Max Hydro Snipe. These moves are stronger than regular D-Max moves, and the opponent's abilities have no effect on them, and this is pissing off some people. Like our friend Kirby, because it takes away some strategy stuff. And for somebody like me who doesn't use strategy, I'm just like, oh, okay, I hit you really hard.
But let's also say that like the Isle of Armor is like it. For one, it looks big, and also number two, it looks like this whole thing is like a wild area structure. Like this is like full. Hey, control the camera. Like it's all you, man.
Yeah,
and I'm actually kind of excited.
Yeah, I'm digging this.
And let me go see if I can get a good shot of like the map of the Isle of Armor. Yeah, no, it looks like there like is just the dojo. And actually, because it shows both towers, I think it doesn't matter what version you have. I think like it is what version you want to take. Now the question is, can you only go through it once?
Yeah, you pick one and that's it. Essentially, it's one and done.
Yeah, but what if you have like another Cub Fu? Could you go through the other one and get both in one game?
I don't know. They didn't really talk about that.
Yeah.
So.
But no, like this Isle of Armor, definitely it looks decently sized. It's got like a lot of water like areas, which I mean, I know a lot of people hate those, but like I kind of like water routes a little bit. Like it really helps spread some things out.
7.3 out of 10. Too much water. How do you feel about the new G-Max forms and their new abilities for the starters?
Them. Honestly, I wish they had them from the start.
I thought it was kind of odd they didn't, because anytime they do a new thing like that,
actually,
like they'll get like when they introduce Mega Evolution. I'm pretty sure they gave you the stone for your thing, right? Or have I got that wrong?
Well, yeah, like for like the Kanto starters, but like your like regional starters couldn't do anything. Still though, what was it? The reason I think that they took like I believe like it was planned you were going to have the ability to Gigantamax your starter from the beginning, and I think like at some point in development, they decided, no, we're not going to do a third version. We're just going to do it as DLC, and they need content for DLC. So I do believe some content that was originally intended for the first run of the game was held back into the Isle of Armor, but I don't think it was that much.
Yeah.
Also, they did show a tiny bit of the Crown Tundra, and it is snow. It's snow, right?
Yep. Sounds about right. They also showed off a little more of the new outfits and hairstyles, like the Rose one.
I'm so
Marnie's
excited.
outfit. Oh my god, I need it. And a new punk rock outfit with a mohawk hairstyle, which speaks to my punk rock roots. So
aesthetic.
I would definitely be down to get another mohawk. And then this new outfit, I don't know what it's called, but it's like an elegant style outfit, and it has like a new hairstyle for that too. So.
Yeah, but like typically they're all based off of like different things from like past Pokemon games or like other character models. And I'm happy because like I feel like while like this wasn't like for character customization in Pokemon, Sword and Shields was a step up from Sun and Moons and X and Ys. But I don't feel it was enough. And now with this expansion, I feel like this might be enough to have more varied trainers.
The other thing, too, is they also showed off new League card effects, BGs, frames, stuff like that. So that's coming as well. But the main thing I'll say is Isle of Armor, they still don't have a date, just as end of June.
We have a time frame, at least.
and purchasing the expansion pass before August 31st unlocks Leon's cap and tights unlockable in the game. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but you can't wear his cape, though. I want his cape.
Well, you can't have everything. Also, starting today, and I mean today when they show the direct, they're doing higher chance of getting Copperjaw and Duraludon G-Max raids in Sword, and Garbodor and Charizard G-Max raids in Shield. So, after I spent all that time trying to get G-Max Charizard, now they up the rate.
Uh-huh.
That's all I gotta say about that. So
man, as soon as I saw that Charizard was getting the enhanced rate for Shield, I was like, "Oh, that's the game we don't play." Because both me and you play on Sword,
yeah,
primarily. I mean, I have both, but Sword's my main.
I mean, overall, very interesting direct. A lot of new interesting stuff was revealed. Stuff that I am excited for. Stuff that is coming out in the horizon. There wasn't anything like super standout other than, of course, the Pokemon stuff and the Animal Crossing stuff. But I'm happy with what we got. I'm happy with what they showed off.
Regardless of like the length of the direct, which was 28 minutes, this definitely did feel like a mini direct. Like this didn't have like the oomph like a full direct did. Like this definitely was a mini direct, which makes me very excited for. Okay, well, what's going to be your full direct? Which I can't wait because like there's still a bunch of things they got to tell us about. Like, well, the main thing that sticks out in my mind first and foremost is Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah,
I need to know. Tell me.
I think they're saving the big stuff for around when the E3 direct would have gone out. They're probably still going to release it around the same time. I feel like there's maybe one mini one left before then. So we'll see what happens. Who knows? But this is a good way to hold people off for now to see what's coming out.
Yeah, no. And plus, also, you know, like this was only just a taste for like the Trial of Armor thing. I would not be surprised if in the next one they show off a bit more of the Isle of Armor and start showing us Crown Tundra stuff as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'm assuming we're going to see more of that in the coming time. But for now, this is some pretty good information, and I'm excited for future prospects. I want my physical copy of Panzer Dragoon Remake.
Give me Persona on Switch.
So now we're getting to the part of the podcast where we talk about some stuff about us. Tony, what are you doing these days? What are you working on?
Well, typically what I'm working on is just getting through games and trying to get through backlog. Trying to also like whenever I get the drive, because I'm trying to get back at editing a little bit. I'm trying to like do stuff because I want to stream myself like more regularly, and I've been doing that a little bit, but I want to start streaming and getting used to that idea because like I've streamed a couple times in the past, and typically whenever I've streamed, it's just like streaming's hard. Like people like to say it's easy, you know, you just get like behind a microphone and plug in a game and just go. No, like there are like some psychological aspects to streaming that kind of can get to you, like the like dead air and like because like how like I streamed before was it was just me, game, and chat room, and if no one showed up, it's just me, game, and silence, which that will kill you.
And that's the thing. This is the thing that I said. I kind of, because I did Let's Playing more regularly first, I got used to talking when nobody was there. So I've trained myself to, you know, just like to keep on a regular basis. Yeah, I call my streams the block party essentially because everybody likes to come out for them and watch me play. But if no one shows up, I still have a battle plan for taking care of it. So, and a lot of streamers are just them. It's just them, and they have their chat to interact with. So, main things are know how to talk like there's no one there. Be able to interact with your chat, and make a schedule. That's the main thing that I say. Make a schedule.
Dude.
That did wonders for me. I went from like not even having affiliate status to being at almost 200 followers. And while that doesn't seem like a lot, I get a better viewership than some people who have thousands of followers. So that's because people know what to expect. They know what I'm going to be doing. So
yeah, no, I definitely need to hammer out like a schedule.
Pick a day or two a week that you know that you can stream, and then just start schedule. Just do that every week.
I mean, like I've got a lot of free time. It's just It's not. It's definitely not laziness or like complacency. It's just fear.
Hell,
like that's just what it comes down to. It's just fear.
Yeah. Well, when you are comfortable, like honestly, the schedule part was the best thing I could have done. Like having a schedule makes it easy because people know when I'm going to stream. They don't have to guess when I'm going to be doing a stream. So
yeah.
But yeah, you've been streaming a lot more, especially since when I do Pokemon stuff, you like to stream at the same time. So that's been kind of a regular thing, sort of. So
oh yeah, no. So definitely, I would do Sundays. I at some point, I'd probably want to do them like way earlier than you, though. But
yeah.
Yeah, no, still, it's definitely like something I do want to get in because I've got a lot of backlog and I really want to start chomping into that backlog.
No, I hear you. That's what streaming's been good for. I've been playing some of the games that I own
because I've like just barely started Mystery Dungeon. I've got Fire Emblem 3 Houses I bought because it was on sale. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Dragon Quest, Ni no Kuni, Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Oh man, so much, so much, and more coming because I also bought the Lara Croft 2013, 2016, and 2018 games. I got
you took advantage of that Resident Evil 3 deal that I pointed out to you.
I've got Resident Evil 3. I've got Persona 5 Royal coming on Tuesday. I'm gonna get Xenoblade when that comes out. Oh god, it just keeps piling up.
Well, even if you have to do something like Tony Tuesdays or something, just a day where you stream every Tuesday or something like that. If you can do something like that, then you'll be able to get into a schedule and do it on the regular. So no pressure, of course. Do it when you're ready. I just like alliteration, so that's why
I guess probably also like another thing is I also don't like feeling a bit trapped to being like, I must play this game exclusively for stream. The game doesn't feel like it like belongs to me anymore. It feels like I have to share my experience.
I know that feeling because there are games I definitely buy to record or stream, but at the same time, I think to myself, there's some games like I wouldn't finish this game anyways if I wasn't doing it. Like, but I also do things like now that I do the stream roulette, I finished Custom Robo on stream because I put it through the random number generator and it picked that game out of my collection. So that's why I committed to doing that. So, and of course, I don't have to finish every game, even though the meme is Zero finishes every game he streams. I don't finish every game I stream. So it's one of those things where like, I'll see how people feel, see how I feel. And then if we're feeling it, we'll keep going.
I guess I'll just have to like sit there and think because number one is whatever game I stream, I'm going to have to start from the beginning, and thankfully I'm not super far in any of these games. But
again, it's no pressure to you. Just take some time, think about it, and when you've decided, like, even just like a good thing is like just go through your own collection and be like, okay, what have I not played and what am I not going to play unless I'm forced to, play it in front of people on the internet. If you can limit yourself down to that, then you can figure out, okay, I'm going to play these games, stream these games, and these ones I want to play for pleasure kind of thing. So,
I could probably, I'm staring at all my Switch games, which I have just almost all of them that I cared about, which was a pretty big list. I'm like 4 or 5 games away from pretty much getting all the heavy hitters of the Switch.
Yeah. Anything else you're working on, or just basically the stream and modding stuff?
Just stream and modding. I'm not really doing anything because I believe at one point I was trying to get back and doing YouTube and stuff like that, but I think I should, and what I decided was I should focus on one thing first and just try to stick with that and not try to spread myself too thin while I'm still working out these issues that I'm having.
Not like me.
Yeah.
But
so, I mean, like, eventually I would like to go from streaming into YouTube more proper.
Yeah. From my camp, what I'm working on is I'm still working on my top games list of the past decade. It's going to happen. It's just taking some time. I'm working on a collab review that I'm doing with another reviewer. I'm in the footage recording process, and we're going to get to writing very soon. Podcasts. I'm trying to work out, since most people are off and their schedules have opened up because of quarantine, I'm trying to work out more interviews with special guests, because I haven't done as many as I wanted to. There's some that I've wanted to do, but I haven't been able to because people's schedules collide. And since I don't, like, my regular co-host CJ has been really busy, I haven't had regular episodes to do. So I'm going to try and do more interview stuff within the next few months to try to get some of those pounded out. There's been one that I've had a really big YouTuber that agreed to do an interview, and our schedules have just clashed, so I'm hoping I can get that one figured out. But yeah, just keep an eye on that. New Noisecast should be out soon. I gave the final edit to Excalibur, Jordan, and I'm just waiting for him to finish the video portion of it. So that should be coming soon on his channel. Let's Plays 60-Bit Winter's over now by the time you hear this, but I am continuing Moemon. That's going to be finished. Of course, you guys know I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Tuesdays and Thursdays right now are regulated to Resident Evil 2 Claire B, which will eventually become Resident Evil 3 when that comes out. And Sundays are just whatever I'm feeling. Probably Animal Crossing, or this Sunday, when you guys probably won't hear this before then, but I'll be doing probably Project Resistance. Or Resident Evil Resistance, I guess it's called now. So more multiplayer stuff on that. I did an impromptu Animal Crossing stream the other night, so that happened. It was fun. We got a lot of people to come out. Like,
I made a new friend / enemy.
Arcada. You met her, new friend / enemy. Jacato came out. PA Werewolf raided me, and he came out, and I had shooting stars. That's why people came in. So it was kind of an impromptu stream. I wasn't planning it.
I kind of wish
one of my most successful
streams
in the last few weeks. I think I had like 20 plus viewers, which is good for me. So, so maybe more impromptu streams as things happen in Animal Crossing. I don't know. I'm definitely going to be participating in other people's streams too. So I think that's going to be happening. Tony, where can people find you?
Oh, well, typically, you can find me anywhere, just as long as you type up Tony ZX15. Be careful. But no, like, typically, like, you can just find me over at, like, my Twitter, or like hanging out in Jordan Fringe's Discord, or like his streams. And that's just more or less where I am. And also, like, you're able to find me in, like, Zero streams as of late. And probably that's where you're going to be able to find me more often now.
Also, you're welcome to use the streaming chat in my Discord server. I let anybody use that who streams, in case they want to have multiple people join them for that. So I know Oni Rokaku takes advantage of that. I know Doom takes advantage of that. I
definitely think that'll be the way, because like, having someone there with you definitely takes the edge off of streaming.
And I think the general consensus in my server is, if they're cool enough to be around in the streaming chat, they're cool enough to watch and hang out with. So it's one of those things where it's gotten Doom and Oni and other people to actually do streaming more often. So if you want to use that, just let me know what days you plan to use it for. As long as I'm not streaming at the same time, then it's cool by me. So
I'm not going to make any promises, but I'm thinking, because I have been thinking all this week, I'm getting Persona 5 Royal on Tuesday.
That might be a good one, but then again, you'll probably want to play that on your own time too. So,
honestly, Animal Crossing is going to take over my life anyway. So
it kind of is.
I wasn't going to buy it. Something to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And plus, the only thing that's different between that is, I've already played through Persona 5, so I'm not going to be like having to slam through Persona 5 like I did my first 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. So actually, that's perfect, because another thing I recommend to people is if you're going to stream on the regular, start off with something you know, because it's a little easier and you already know Persona 5, so maybe that's a good one. Who knows?
Yeah, no, and money, and also I'll still get enjoyment because Persona 5 Royal is like a remix, so there's still new things for me, so it's still exciting for me, and I kind of know the story, so I think I might just stream Persona 5 Royal for a while. I know I'm stealing someone else's in your Discord thunder from streaming Persona.
Oh, well, Bradley's almost done, so it doesn't matter. That's Supercard Brothers, by the way, on Twitch.
Yeah.
But if you want, but just to make it easier for everybody, if you want to find Tony, his Twitter and Twitch and everything, it's usually Tony's the X15. Go check him out. Find him and don't argue Pokemon movies with him.
Yeah, no, I will fight you. But no. Yeah, no, I'm probably going to be streaming Persona 5 at some point on Tuesday, day of release. As long as Amazon doesn't screw me. If Amazon screws me, I can't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
If it comes, it comes.
Anyways, you guys know where to find me. The social medias. Before that, my Discord server is now public. If you want to join the Discord server, its link will be on the screen on the video, and there'll be a link in the description in the audio version. I recently put out my video on why I think Animal Crossing Mufasa is actually a fun game. So that's out. Go check it out. It's on my channel. Link probably in the cards and in the description for that. Regular social media is facebook.com/Zeromaster fan page, Twitter @Zeromaster. If you want to support this podcast and other projects, get early access to videos, behind the scenes extras, and a whole lot more, patreon.com/Zeromaster is a good place to do so. And yes, again, I stream 3 times a week on twitch.tv/Zeromaster, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to do it for this episode. Tony, thank you for coming on and sharing your
dude,
feels.
Thanks for having me. Feel free to call me anytime.
I probably will be calling on you again because this was a very fun podcast to do, and you're a fun guy.
I'm just going to be CJ's replacement for the time being, aren't I?
That's what Kirby thought too. Because I've had Kirby on 3 times. He's like, "Am I just a replacement?" No. I like that. This is an opportunity for me to have other people on. So, and I like our vibe. I think we vibe good.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
So. Anyways, guys, for the Hunter Base podcast, I'm Zeromaster, and joining me was
Tony's the X15.
And I'll see you guys on the next one, which will be episode 40. Take care, comb your hair in a rush, use a brush. Have a good one. Don't circle look cute.
Also, let me clarify, and also I really hope that these sirens in my background aren't coming through. But
I can hear them a little bit. The cops are coming to get you.
Man, not again. But basically, I'm just gonna let this ambulance pass. Hi, ambulance. Bye.
It's not me this time.
But no,